We get really consumed in our own communities, our own neighborhoods, while people are crying out right 2 blocks down, or for some of y'all, 20 blocks down from where you might be living. We can't miss what's happening in our communities, because if we're truly going to fight for justice, we're going to have to adjust our vision. We need to be honest about what we see, because that's the only way in which we're going to be impactful to really continue to make a change for all Virginians. So the question becomes for us, Faith, what do we see? So as we're looking around in our communities, as we're looking around the Commonwealth, what do we see? And I believe Virginia Interfaith can answer that question, because here's what I know that we see. Catherine, we see the maternal mortality rate of Black women dying in childbirth is twice the rate of white women. We see, Sheila, that congregations are getting tangled up in red tape just trying to use their facilities and land to address the lack of affordable housing. We see, Kenneth, that the carceral system in Virginia continues to be a place of inhumane treatment and failing to be a source of restoration to those who are beyond the wall. We see workers continuing to fight for basic rights, just trying to go to work and earn a living, and they can't even take a paid day off, Kim, in order to take care of themselves. We see that the injustices are still happening every single day. Aaliyah, we see that the earth is groaning as the planet continues to suffer from our abuse, and the impact of climate change continues to increase. So we know what we see, and so now that we see it, the question becomes, what are we going to do about it? And part of the answer of that question is to continue to fight for good policy. That is a way to start to address some of the injustices that we see all around us. But we can't get so consumed in what we're seeing in the present moment that we become paralyzed and not able to see beyond that moment. Scholar Bell Hooks says it this way: to be truly visionary, we have to root ourselves, root our imagination in the concrete reality while simultaneously imagining possibilities beyond that reality. So that means I've got to acknowledge where I am in the present, but I also need to dream something different. And that's exactly what Dr. King did. He could see the present, but he also could see the possibility of the future. And so as we are about to move forward into the rest of the year, we want to continue to dream of something different, not just being paralyzed in the present moment, but really pushing forward to the possibility of the future. I truly believe that Virginia Interfaith is positioned at an amazing time. There is so much work towards justice and freedom that still needs to be done. We cannot continue to ignore injustices that are happening all around us, and we need to be able to see things as it really is. So Dr. King understood the importance of perspective, but not only did he understand that, he understood the importance of his unique purpose and his unique voice. There was a role that only Dr. King could play in the freedom fight. It required his voice, his perspective, and his gift. And similar to Dr. King, in order to continue to disrupt and dismantle systems, we need everybody to play their part. That means we need your gifts, we need your perspective, and we need your voice. I already said Dr. King was 30 years old during the main years of his freedom fighting, so that means he understood even as a young man that his voice was an important part of the process. The work of justice is best done from an intergenerational position. We need every voice and every perspective. We need the wisdom of those that have been in the fight for a little while, and we need the wisdom of those that's been in the fight for a long while. We need everybody's voice and perspective at the table, because it takes all of us in order to do the work of justice in an effective way. So that means we need different perspectives, different voices, different faiths, different races, and creating a space where everyone feels heard and welcome. So for us at Virginia Interfaith, it is a pivotal moment for us to just take a look around the room and really ask ourselves the question, who's missing in this space? Who isn't in this room who needs to have a space with us? And once we identify who's missing, then it's going to take our intentional action to pull them into the fight with us. It doesn't happen magically. It takes intentionality and effort. But I know that it is the power of the collective voice that's able to move mountains.